welcome to Delta Lodge Outdoors. I am your host, Julius. This is a podcast to not only entertain, but to occasionally teach new things. I may be the only one learning, but at least we're going to have some fun trying to do it along the way. Thank y'all. Hey everybody, welcome to Delta Lodge Outdoors. We're recording this one on January the 18th. It should come out about I should have knew this. Hey everybody, welcome to Delta Lodge Outdoors. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've had anything come out, and I do apologize for that. I've been real busy with work and making moves around with work. I was in San Antonio, then I was supposed to go to Baton Rouge for 2 weeks, and ended up in Baton Rouge and Lake Charles, still dealing in San Antonio, and also in the middle of moving some stuff from Oklahoma to Shreveport because we're making our move there. But enough of that. I'm going to jump into today's episode. What I'm recording now is it's Saturday, whatever the hell today is, the 5th. Saturday the 5th of April. Something came out about an hour and a half ago. A lot of y'all know I really enjoy bass fishing and everything. And Scott Martin came out and said he's quitting the elite circuit this year. So that's the second elite pro this year because of the way they're doing the new rule with information and everything. He self-reported on himself for Okeechobee, and it was kind of a shitty situation. Like, he really didn't do anything. He self-reported and got suspended basically for the tournament, for lack of better terms. He couldn't fish it. Said that, and what happened on that one was stock talk. A guy and him was talking. He's like, well, and he said, well, I wonder what the water clarity is. And that was like 3 weeks for the tournament, so it was within the 30 days. So it was considered solicited information, and that was the end of it. But he did self-report, and he got suspended for it, even though he self-reported. So fast forward to today, he was talking on his video, and you'll have to go check it out. Just go to his page on any social media, and it's going to be on a lot of other people's stuff too. He had a guy that information was discussed back and forth months ago about certain things, and none of it actually was on the water where his next tournament is. But and then he doesn't know the guy. It's just a weird situation, and he doesn't personally know him. And so with that said, they as of Monday of this past week, a report was put out on him saying that he solicited information, Well, he agreed to take the lie detector, and apparently people don't trust Bass, the guy that Bass has putting the lie detectors out, from my understanding of watching his video, and he said there's going to be more coming. But he did have a professional do one with the questions that Bass was going to be asking, and he said those results will be out. Apparently he passed it, but he doesn't think Bass is going to accept it. He had already made his mind up, supposedly, that at the end of this year he was going to not come back on the elite circuit because he wasn't having fun, he wasn't this and that. But he has decided to make it retroactive and leave today, starting Saturday the 5th. So he will not fish the rest of this year. I'm not sure. My speculation, he's going to move over to, I don't think he goes back to FLW. I think he's going to move over to the National Professional Fishing League because a lot of the guys are fishing over there now. That tournament's getting a little foothold, that series. That's where Matt Herron went after he quit. So I believe that's where he's going to go. Just my opinion. I think the role is going to create a lot of problems because of how it's going. There's also some more information coming out from what I hear from one of the guys that I watch all the time. That somebody else did some stuff, and they didn't get punished for it. So we'll see. And I do know that a few weeks back in the Sam Rayburn tournament, one of the top 5 guys was proven to have broke a rule, and he was only fined like $3,000, but he won like 14 grand. So, and they've kept that pretty quiet on what it was. I think there's going to be a lot of changes to the information rule with bass. I know years back it wasn't ran as tight as it is now, and the way it was explained to me by some people that were in the know was of how it worked was there were a lot of these different companies had state teams. Like these bass boat companies had state teams, and a lot of those state team guys were given points of interest, that your POIs to the to certain pros, within the same boat manufacturer group. So, and I get that from numerous people. I'm not gonna call names because it's just I'm not gonna do stuff like that. But several people told me that I want to bring on some more of the pros and see if I can get a couple of those to come on and talk about everything going on, because it's just been a shit show this year in every league. In the National Professional Fishing League, for example, I think this came out after the last time I talked about the DQs. One of the guys got disqualified from it because he was talking to his camera guy, just making conversation. He's like, wonder if so and so's catching him, which is his roommate, who was in like the top 3 or 5 with him. And he's like, wonder if he's catching them. And they called that solicited information and DQ'd him. Yeah, so I think there's going to have to be some changes amongst all the leagues on how they do stuff. Which, this is the first year they've really enforced all that. So I really don't know. I don't think they were either A, they were trying to get rid of people, or B, they didn't think this out really well. So with that, like I said, Scott Martin has resigned from the elites. Not sure where he'll fish the rest of the year, if he even fishes any national circuit. He is the second elite to drop this year. The Alabama Bass Council, Slick Johnson or whatever his name is, he's saying there's going to be another one. And he's also saying that certain people get away with certain infractions of the rules. So we'll see. I am really contemplating fishing bass next year, the opens and everything, but it's kind of different. Guys are, I'm hearing a lot of things, good and bad, more so than I've ever heard. So I don't know, I might fit, but FLW the same way. So don't know. Might probably gonna fish the opens anyway, and just go from there. There's got to be some changes made, and then so we're kind of caught up on what I wanted to talk about today. I am super shocked about Scott Martin just resigning, quitting, like basically fuck off. Same thing Matt Herron did. So that's where I wanted to go with today's episode. I'm gonna get the state episodes back up and going. I think the last one was like North Carolina or something. I'd be lying if I tried to. It was like number 13, 14. I was getting some feedback with those, and I appreciate it. We got to get back on those. Like I said, I was just in the middle of bouncing around so much that I dropped the ball, and I apologize for that, guys. My last one I did was North Carolina. Then that was the 20th, so I'll be back next. This one comes out on Tuesday, the 8th or whatever, 9th. Let me see. My dates are always jacked up. Y'all know that. So this one will come out the 8th, and I'll be back on the States edition for the 10th. I have another episode recorded with Brant from round 2 of Spring Scouting that we recorded a while back that we're going to throw out. I'm trying to get one of our buddies, Matt, to come on that's going to hunt, that we're hunting Kansas with this year if we draw. Because we put in for the draw, like we had a point from last year, so we put in for the draw this year. I've got to do my Oklahoma stuff, which I'll probably take care of that this evening. I'm also going to put Hunter in for a draw for youth weekend for Oklahoma. It's that time of the year. I think I'm just going to buy another point in Nebraska. then another point in Iowa when it comes up. So Nebraska and Iowa will be just points this year. Oklahoma for me will be just more points in certain areas. And then I'm going to put Hunter in for the draw for the youth. So the only 2 hunts I will probably make this year that are big hunts is if Hunter draws. Then if I draw for Kansas, they're wanting to do rifle, and hopefully I can take the entire rifle season off. We'll see. So we're going to hunt units 8, 9. So that's what we're looking at. Excited about that because from all the things I ran, we should draw. Then, like I said, I'll put in for that. And then 20, that would be my 25 hunt is what we're trying to draw. It's Kansas for 26. I think I'm going to put in for, I might see if I can pick up an Iowa tag. I'll have 2 points going to the third. I might be able to pick something up in Iowa from what I've looked at. Not sure. If not, I'll probably do. I may do Nebraska. I've got a connection up there where I could go hunt public, but I've got a connection for private up there too. So we'll see. Thank y'all for joining us on this episode. You got a kind of a rundown on what we're going to be jumping into over the next week or two. This one will come out, state to start. Then we will be putting out round 2 of the scouting with Brant. We actually have some more DFO videos coming out for WMA scouting. Thank y'all.
From the woods to the water, from hunting to fishing, in the delta to the mountains, all about the outdoors. With a bow, fishing pole,